Hey Chives, it's Kai and I'm already cringing.
Why are you such a copycat?
Hi, welcome. I'm glad you're here. I'm nervous. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to title this video yet, but you probably know like basically what we're getting into right now. So there's this person that I met online back when I used to roleplay on Tumblr. It's Crowley from Supernatural. The Crossroads demon who's also the king of hell, and I role-played with a girl named Amberly, who is a very good friend of mine now, and she used to role-play as Jo from Supernatural. And this was actually, it came from a headcanon that I made up whenever I was in my first ever roleplay like on Chatsy, like back in the day, and I used to play Jo Harvell, right? And so then I made up this whole backstory as to why Jo Harvell was in love with Crowley. So basically the backstory I came up with for that was that when Jo died in Supernatural in season 5, she was waiting in line. I remember this so vividly because it was just so ridiculous and I told it to so many people and I thought it was the best thing. And it just wasn't. I went through a real bad Supernatural phase, and if you've never seen Supernatural, then Crowley at that point had made hell literally just one big line, and once you got up to the front of the line you just disappeared and went back to the back of the line, and that was just hell, which, you know, honestly. But so basically once Jo died, she was in line for hell, like hadn't even gotten inside yet, and some guy behind her for whatever reason decided to grab her ass, and she turned around and punched him in the face. That happened to be when Crowley was standing outside with two of his other like subservient demons and saw that happen, and then he told them to go fetch Jo, and Jo was like, oh shit, well I guess here we are, like about to, you know, fight the king of hell, I guess. But then Crowley was like, alright, we're gonna go up to my office, and then it was just the two of them, and he told her that he admired her feistiness or whatever, and they like started making a deal, and then it just turned out they wound up just having sex. Don't ask me why or how. I don't know. But I stuck with that headcanon for a really long time. And so like towards the end of when I was in that Chatsy roleplay, like I played Jo in the Chatsy roleplay, and then I decided to make a Tumblr for Crowley, and I played that version of Crowley instead of playing Jo. I made a blog for Jo, but roleplaying with yourself is boring, I quickly found out, so I decided to find another Jo, and that's when I stumbled across Amberly's blog because she roleplayed as Jo. So I sent her messages saying like, hey, like this is my headcanon for Crowley and Jo, like would you be down to roleplay? And she was like, yeah, that sounds great, I'm cool with that. And that's what we're about to experience together. Now I haven't looked at this blog in years, like literally since the last time I sent a response, which was probably 3-4 years ago, maybe more than that, I don't know for sure. It was a while. And after I did the last reading fanfic video, I decided that this would be good to do, so. Oh, okay, I guess I was on here when I was in France. How many years ago was that? I think 3, I'm not sure, but I posted like an old picture of myself. Oh, I guess I should screen record. I'm gonna do that real quick. That way maybe you guys can look along with me. Where's the button for that? I don't know. Where's the button? Isn't there? Oh. I absolutely love this picture. The title of my blog was Like Bloody Clockwork because it was just a line that he said at one point, and I thought it was so like, I think it's so crummy. But anyway, he also at one point said, I haven't the foggiest, as like a response to something, so that was my thing. Now, first things first, I want to read the bio that I wrote right here. So let's just read the bio real quick. I used to be a Crossroads demon, king of, in fact. Oh, I guess I should do my a British accent. I used to be a Crossroads demon. Oh, you can tell I've been working on an Irish accent. I used to be a Crossroads demon, king of, in fact. But since then I've moved up in the world, or rather, down. Call me your majesty, the king of hell. Crowley works as well. Be a doll and don't make me angry, because I can assure you that I am more than capable of ending your life and condemning you to eternal torture if you piss me off. Honestly, love, don't be such a dolt. Again, he said that in like one random episode. When I tell you I was a Supernatural stan, I mean, it was Independent Crowley roleplay blog. Maybe not safe for work. Yeah, I don't remember like how they went, but I do remember there were some not safe for work scenes that I wrote with Amberly, and I'm not gonna be reading those today. If you would like those, let me know in the comments, but if you're going to roleplay with me, please, by all means, I ask that you read my headcanon tag. There's a link to the left, or you could simply type in /tag/headcanon at the end of my URL. Mun is 20. Okay, so the last time I updated was when I was 20, which had to be 3 years ago, because I'm 23 now. Enjoy! The ask is always open. So, real quick, I do kind of want to, I do want to see the headcanon tag. So, this is the last selfie that I uploaded. And there's a thing on like roleplay blogs where it's like Monday because you're like the mun because it's like mundane, so like you're the mundane person behind the blog. Whatever. And so like on Mondays a lot of the time people will post their actual selfies on their roleplay blogs. Anyway, oh, let me see if I have any like, there's 0 messages here. Last activity was I got a follower on June 30th. Why? I'm just gonna go to the most recent thread and just like start with the first. Oh, this is her blog. There we go. Okay, so here's the first part in the most recent thread. So Amberly posted this. Closed starter, the king's mother. Jo sat out on the balcony of her hotel room with a pack of cigarettes, a lighter, and a 6-pack of beer. She hadn't smoked in years, but tonight she felt as if she really needed to relax. The blonde lit one and inhaled slowly, savoring the burn in her lungs. She pulled her phone out and sent a text to her lover. Text, Hades. By the way, so there was a thing that actually came from that Chatsy roleplay, which, Mark, if you're watching this, what's up? But my friend Mark used to roleplay as Crowley when I roleplayed as Jo, and we kind of came up with this thing where like they were Persephone and Hades, and like he called her his Persephone, and so he was, you know, her Hades. And then I just transferred it over because I thought it was so cute and romantic. I don't know. I wrote poems about this shit. If you want to see those poems, let me know because they're, ooh. They don't belong anywhere else, so I just awkwardly have them. Anyway, so I got a text from some woman named Rowena. Why the fuck is she claiming to be your mother? Also, I'm a little upset that I didn't know your name was Fergus. It's weird too because we like sometimes went with like the actual plot of the show and sometimes just kind of went with our own, so it really just depended. Jo sat her phone down and opened a beer, drinking slowly just in case he decided to pop in instead of text her back, which he did all the time, especially when I played him, because it just made things interesting, you know? This is back when I used to use GIFs on almost every single reblog. And yes, I say GIFs because it's a G, so it's gonna be a hard G. I'm just saying. Not saying you're wrong if you say GIF, but you're wrong if you say GIF. Crowley was taking a much-needed mental break from his work when he decided to check his phone. 2 texts from Jo? Perhaps something was wrong. He chuckled at her second text and decided to pop on over rather than text her back because like I said, I did that all the time. And also it just, you know, it's just easier than doing the texts. This was a story best told in person, and honestly if he had to spend another second in his office right now, he was going to explode. A snap of his fingers and Crowley sat in the empty chair beside her. Saved me a seat, did you? It's weird the way the notes are on here now. It's like so much harder to, yeah. She looked up and smiled, not surprised at all by his sudden appearance. I did indeed. I figured he'd show up to answer my question of the day. The blonde then moved her cigarette away and puckered her lips in anticipation of a quick kiss from her lover. Can you imagine sending a text to someone and then they appear beside you, which whatever, let's just pretend that's a normal thing to do because he's a demon and it is what it is. And he's like, oh, you saved me a seat. She's like, yeah, well, I thought you'd show up to answer my question of the day. I don't know, there's just something about that that's funny to me. Crowley did kiss her, though he let it linger for a moment before sitting back and smiling at her. And you were right, texting takes too long. And anyway, I'll take any excuse to see that beautiful face of yours. It sounded like he was sucking up, but the sun happened to be lighting her face perfectly. She reminded him of his time in heaven right now. It got worse. Ew. Oh my god, I forgot. Holy crap. Okay, maybe I should try to find the headcanons tag because I forgot that was a thing. Alright, okay, I found a post that describes everything. I'd forgotten, but I just remembered now that I did have a weird headcanon that he was like a fallen angel, just like Lucifer, instead of like a demon turned. I made an out of character post, which is what ook means. I suppose I should reveal my headcanon so as to make things less confusing. Crowley is a fallen angel. He confided in Castiel when he wanted to rebel against an order they both thought extreme, not sure what it was yet, and proposed they do it together. Castiel agreed, but instead of helping him, he informed the other angels as to what was going on. Crowley had his grace ripped from him and pretended to be king of the Crossroads demons and yada yada yada, all actually canon from then on. What the show said, Crossroads demon to king of hell. Okay, and then I made another one, but just formatted it differently, but there is a little bit extra. So, quick post about my headcanons, I promise it'll be brief. Crowley is a fallen angel. Castiel betrayed him and is the reason he fell. He pretended to be a lowly demon so as to not seem like a huge threat. He became king of hell, so he figures it doesn't matter much now, who knows. Besides, it's fun to flaunt his wings. That was a thing that I like to have him do all the time, was just whip out those huge black wings. The queen of hell, his lover, his Persephone, taken from the mythological aspect of Persephone and Hades, which are their nicknames for each other, is Joe Harvell. He is very much in love with her and very protective of her. He is a flirt, but that doesn't mean he's interested. He's an attractive, self-righteous asshole whom I love that is more powerful than he looks. He's a fallen archangel, for God's sake. That's all. Thank you very much. I don't know why I put so many things in the headcanon tag, but I completely forgot. I don't remember how we got this name, but we used to call Crowley and Joe, you know how like there's like ship names? We called them Cobalt. I don't remember why. Amberly, if you're watching this and you remember why it was Cobalt, let me know, because I don't remember. Anyway, but there is a headcanon for like their domestic things, and so she sent me an ask. So I think it was like a headcanon's tag for like domestic ships and whatever, and so she sent me one, and I did it. So, who shops for the groceries? Servant sent by Crowley at Joe's request. Who kills the spiders? Crowley snaps them dead. He just, and they poof. Comes home drunk at 3 a.m. Joe probably. Angels don't get drunk, which, fair. Makes breakfast? Joe. She refuses to let the servants do it because she likes it. I don't think that's true. She especially loves surprising Crowley with breakfast in bed. Remembers to feed the fish? Joe. They have fish? What? Always Joe. Crowley doesn't give a damn about the things. That would be accurate though, because he's the king of hell and he kills people, so why would fish matter? Who decorates the apartment? It's a difficult struggle. They both have very different tastes and are both very adamant about it. Who initiates the duets? Joe loves to sing more than Crowley does. Oh, we have a kitty visitor. Hello? This is Charlie. Say hi. Who initiates duets? Joe loves to sing more than Crowley does. Plus, that's sappy, and Crowley doesn't do sap. Which is not true. She reminded me of my time in heaven, but you do sap. Who falls asleep first? Well, angels don't sleep, so Joe. Maybe I'm gonna click on the Cobalt tag. This really quickly turned into a different kind of like reviewing these things. I want to see if I can scroll to the bottom and find a post talking about like where Cobalt came from, because there's like probably came from Crowley and Joe. So the first post on this tag says it's called Joe My Darling, and I started it. I like how it's just hashtag Joe, hashtag Cobalt Scene, hashtag HECKIE, hashtag that's their ship name by the way, hashtag Cobalt. Can you not knock everything down? Thank you. Crowley appeared in front of Joe, dressed in clothes from one of their past role-playing exercises that strangely resembled that of Dean Winchester's attire. That's... Charlie! Stop! A gray face had gotten him, a gray face. What's a gray face? Oh, I don't remember. A gray face had gotten him and caused him to be incredibly turned on, and oh, that's what I used to call anons! Oh my god, I forgot. When people send like anonymous messages on Tumblr, oh my god. There must have been an anon that sent a message with like one of those like turn me on asks or something like that, and then I decided to start a thread because of it. Oh, this is awkward. It's just like such an awkward like reading that and not knowing like, what do you mean a gray face had gotten him and caused him to be incredibly turned on? Like, what do you mean? And who better to go to than his queen? Love, it's been too long. He caressed her face, smiling down at her. Remember the outfit? Crowley winked, pulling her in close. Oh my god! Okay, I don't know who this Beyond the Veil person is, but they were the ones that were like following me like over and over and over again. Also, I don't know if the screen recording is not, I don't know why I stopped recording my screen, but this person, Beyond the Veil, decided to respond to that, the same person that had followed me like 50 million times and said, Mun pinches his bum. Okay, let me start this and see if this is... Joe was hunting. While it worried Crowley, he knew that she would be alright, partly because she knew how to defend herself, and partly because he knew he could drop in at any moment he so pleased and snatch her up. I know he meant that in like a, yeah, like take her out of the situation so she'll be safe, but that sounds terrifying. Not to mention his ability to bring her back from the depths of hell every time she died. That was a thing that happens sometimes too, anyway. Still, this hunt was a bit dangerous. She was hunting Alana, the demon he had wanted to get his hands on for a little while. He hadn't had many chances to search for her, but Joe had found her and Crowley didn't like where it was going. Alana had info on the Winchesters, which he needed, but without Joe knowing. She still loved the Winchesters, though they kept a fair distance from each other, and she didn't want to get him, and she didn't want him to get his bloody revenge on them as he was planning. Hoofs to the scene and grabs Joe by the wrist just before she returns to the room Alana was trapped in. Oh my god, oh, we were role playing with somebody else named Alana. Holy crap, that's a lot of replies. Joe had been hunting this demon for days, so when Crowley showed up out of nowhere and pulled her away just before she could kill the damn thing, she got a little defensive. What the hell, she exclaimed, trying not to get angry. What a sexist piece of shit! She had it! Why'd you have to pop in? Ew, I hate that. Sweetheart, I'll take this one from here. Go and have yourself a drink in my office. I'll be down in a moment. He raised his hand to snap, hoofing her away, but before he could rub his fingers together fast enough, she grabbed his hands, annoyance and clear confusion flashing in her eyes. Ew, I hate that. Why was I roleplaying a sexist piece of shit? Joe continued to glare at her lover, hurt seeping through ever so slightly. This is my job. I don't need to be put on the sidelines. Yeah, she's been training her whole life for this and now you made her a demon. By the way, that's a thing that I had happen, is that he made her, or wait, no! Oh my god, okay, in the Chatsy roleplay, I had him make Joe a demon. And this one he was trying to make Joe a demon, and this Joe didn't really want to be a demon, so it was like anyway. Her voice quivered as she lowered it. You promised you wouldn't do this. That's the thing too, is if he's sitting there like, oh, it'll be fine, like I can bring her back from the depths of hell anytime she dies, like it's whatever, like I trust her, like it's fine. But then he's like, oh, you know what, actually I'm gonna poof in and she's fighting a demon and I don't really like that, so I'm gonna snap and put her back in my office and I'll kill this demon and then I'll meet up with her and we'll have lunch. Like, bye! Plus Crowley would never get his hands dirty like that. Crowley sighed, placing a hand on her shoulder and the other over his eyes, dropping his voice. Joanna, sweetheart. His voice was soft and soothing, and he dropped his hand from his eyes, using it to pull her in by the waist. Dearest Persephone, this one isn't safe. I wish I had a fedora for this moment, because I know I could bring you back if things went awry. I almost said Ari, and I know that word. I know I could bring you back if things went awry, but I hate to see you in pain, even for the slightest second. Let me take it, please. Boy, she said she got it. Bye. Okay, we're gonna scroll down just a little bit. Joe closed her eyes and stuck out her tongue. This is like just a little bit later on. I saw booped a nose and I was like, I'm gonna click on this one. Joe closed her eyes and stuck out her tongue. She liked when he was happy and almost carefree. Crowley playfully booped her tongue before her tongue. Ew. Before purifying, that's not a word, before purifying a small golden chest in his hand. A small brass skeleton key appeared in his hand. Oh, okay, you used that phrase twice. And he turned it in the lock, opening it to reveal a beautiful necklace. It hung from a black chain. Charlie, will you chill out? It hung from a black chain, the blue gem cradled in a swirling cage. He took it in his hand and hung it from his fingers and smiled at her. Open. Oh, and I sent a picture. I forgot this was like a thing. I wish I could just like go through our asks. Oh, you know what? Actually, I wonder if I could. I'm just gonna start reading through our asks because I think that might be more fun. Ooh, or, oh my god, look at the tags. Oh my god. I found a post with just a bunch of gifs of like all the archangels. And in the tags I wrote, disgusting family if you ask me. So bloody glad I got out. Ew. Actual tears in my eyes. Oh my god. Out of nowhere, I got an ask from Joe saying, are angels fertile? What? Joe, shut up. Can you imagine if we fucking had a little baby between, oh my god. Like I said, we wrote a lot of smut together. Oh, I'm dying. Of course we are, dearest. Only while in a vessel, however, which I am. Why do you ask? Bye, it happens. I actually looked this up because I wasn't totally sure, and as it turns out in SPN canon they are, but again, only when possessing a human vessel and only with humans. I don't know if we ever made a thread about it or anything like that, but that is awkward. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna put anon on the screen real quick. My screen recording stopped again, but I'm just gonna put this on the screen real quick. I'm not even gonna read it for you. Okay, so this Beyond the Veil person, I literally have no idea who they are, but they were like really active. They followed me and unfollowed and unfollowed and followed and followed and followed and followed, and then gave me like weird responses. And then apparently they asked me at one point, what is your favorite thing to eat? And Craig is not an answer. I don't think it was ever on the table, but okay. And I said, Craig? I don't even know a bloody Craig. Darling, I don't require nourishment, but if I do decide to eat, I dare say, how daring of you to say that your favorite would be steak. Rare, still bleeding, but cooked enough to come apart easily. I don't like the pesky little bits wedged in between my teeth. Why do you ask? There's one note. What's the one note? Oh, okay. I never saw this response, but I'm glad. Craig, also known as Glen Craig, is the scotch that's Crowley's favorite drink, unless you're not following canon, in which case ignore my comment. I remember being a piece of shit when it came to like Crowley and Meg stuff, because in canon Crowley like hated Meg the demon, and there were some really messed up roleplay threads between my Crowley and Meg's, and there was a Meg that I usually roleplayed with, and like as far as I know there was never any issue, but I look back now and I'm like, I would never write that. Ooh. There was like a thread, and I think Ask Hell's Finest was the Meg that I was roleplaying with or something. And then I said, yes, that's right. Retreat like the lost little puppy bitch that you are. You've nowhere to hide, remember that. See you in hell, darling. And with a snap of his fingers, Crowley was gone, refusing to let her be the first to leave. Oh my god. I want to read this. Oh, no post found. All right, got it. Sorry, my screen recording stopped. I don't think I'm gonna record it again for the moment, but I'm just like looking at like, cause I used to get into a lot of threads, like again, I was the king of hell. I had to kind of be a little bit intense. There were a lot of like torture thread things that happen, and I'm just like, I came across a few, and that's just not pleasant. Okay. So I have work in about an hour and I still need to get dressed and make some food. So I'm gonna stop for now, also because like that kind of took a bit of a weird turn. Like it was like real cringy. And I think that the Joe and Crowley stuff is probably more like what I want to focus on if I'm gonna read another one of these. So like if you guys want me to do another one of these and read you more of like the smut stuff and like the more cringy things, let me know. I definitely, will you stop, girls? I don't think I'm really gonna get into like the dark stuff on that blog. I don't know. I kept it up just like for like novelty's sake, and because I kept being like, oh, maybe I'll go back to it in the future. I'm never gonna go back to it, but like I'm gonna keep it up. But I also have a Joe blog that I used to roleplay as my Joe on, so let me know if you want to see that too. This could be a thing because I used to do this a lot. I actually, oh, I wonder. I started roleplaying on Facebook. I know. Oh my god, I wonder if I could find, because I would roleplay as Catherine Pierce from The Vampire Diaries. It was a thing. I always wanted to find my Damon. But I wonder if I could find those. Oh my god, that would be crazy. Let me know if you guys want to see that. Also, I also used to be in the Chatsy roleplay, like I said, and it's where I came up with actually my OC Alex, who has been on this channel now, and I like started playing with her in D&D, and then that's why it's a thing, and she has a novel now that I'm writing. But anyway, so she came from that, but also this whole Joe Crowley nonsense came from that. And I still have access to some of those scenes because I have them on my Google Docs. But also, I tried to do a summer project, you could say, doing like a web series of what we wrote in the roleplay, and it was a crossover roleplay. So if you don't know what that means, back in Tumblr's dark times, there was a lot of Super Wholock stuff, Supernatural, Doctor Who, and Sherlock. We did a roleplay with that. Oh, it's so cringy. Eventually it turned out just being like Supernatural and then like OCs and like Supernatural with like regular characters and gender bent characters of the same ones. It was a thing. I don't even know how to describe it, but I took our roleplays and I kind of rewrote it into a script and tweaked things, and I could act that out or read it for you guys if you'd be interested. Just let me know, because I don't know what to do next. Like, let me know what you want to see next, And I'll probably get to all of this stuff, but like, let me know what you're more interested in seeing next because... Okay guys, anyway, that's all I have for now. I love you. Thanks so much for watching, especially to this week's Shout Out of the Week across the screen right here. This is a video actually Amberly was going to be Shout Out of the Week, but I already put her in Shout Out of the Week on another one, which she'll still be linked down below just because, like, you know, this video was like the two of us. But I'll also link the Shout Out of the Week down below because you're awesome, you're always active, and I always see you, and I love you. Everybody go give him some love. But yeah, that's all for now. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Give me those thumbs. And share this video if you like me. I could use the validation. Hopefully so I didn't cringe for nothing, because maybe I shouldn't have done this before work because I feel like I'm still going to be thinking about it at work and just... Anyway. Thank you so much for watching. I love you so much. Stay cool, my dudes, and I will see you next time.
Why are you such a copycat?
I need some coffee. Bye.